Greetings, loved ones. You know, the act is simple, but everything around it is not. Fist meets flesh, force makes contact, nerve endings fire away in pain, capillaries burst, tissues swell. Today, we're going to talk about why he hits, the psychology of an abuser. To help get these messages out, please subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit that like button and please share these messages with others because you never know, just by doing so, you could save a life. Found an interesting article in Psychology Today by Dr. Gene Kim, who explains the psychology of an abuser and why he hits his victims. Dr. Kim says the physical mutates the moment. Violence creates as it destroys. The axis of someone's psyche shifts after something traumatic happens. Tomorrow is never the same. In violence's wake, a savage creation is born. It's a monstrous melange of anguish, sorrow, confusion, shame, anger. And she says to look upon it is to look at oneself in a shattered mirror. She says, a grotesquerie of what you thought was love, family, and intimacy. To have that moment and its afterbirth displayed for all the world to see, the monster that thrives in the shadows and corners of personal respectability and civility is what has finally happened with NFL Baltimore Ravens player Ray Rice incident. Remember that one? On February 15, 2014, Rice was caught on video punching his then girlfriend, now wife, and I don't know if now in 2021 they're still married, but Janae Rice. Thanks to the era of cell phone cameras and instant media and YouTube, the personal can no longer remain private. And while there may be something to be said for the victim's agency in choosing when to reveal private horrors to others, Janae Rice has become the unwitting, unwilling poster child for an important conversation. Aside from the myriad discussions of an abuse victim's behavior and the crucial #WhyIStayed Twitter feed, here we're going to focus on the perpetrator, says Dr. Kim. Dr. Kim states, because as someone who grew up with a father who committed domestic violence, she says, it is a question that has plagued me my entire life. Why does somebody you love, someone who should cherish you unconditionally, treat you or your loved ones so cruelly? What has gone awry in that person to become an instrument of violence, both physical and inevitably emotional? Dr. Kim states, on some level, that question has defined my entire identity and my choice of career. Not unlike the obsessions of a driven detective searching for a murderer, or of John Wayne in the classic movie The Searchers looking for years for his kidnapped missing niece, Dr. Kim says, I too have obsessed over that question. Dr. Kim continues, I studied literature, looking for the answers in human behavior and motivations, the nature of good and evil. I became a psychiatrist, states Kim, devoted to helping people who have suffered the mental fallout of trauma, which leaves devastation in many forms, be it nightmares, isolation, depression, anxiety, self-hatred, self-destructive behaviors, and more. But I also wondered, says Kim, about the psyche of the aggressor, the criminal, the sociopath, who would also sometimes come under my purview. Abusers often suffer from their own mental illnesses. A mood disorder may make them more prone to irritability and anger. Both depression and mania can manifest in heightened snappiness and quickness to attack, especially when associated with insomnia. And in rare, severe cases, psychotic paranoia can also contribute. Post-traumatic stress disorder, as sometimes seen in people in high-stress, high-threat careers like the military, can cause people to remain in fight or flight mode, leading to a chronic edginess and aggressive will to survive. An impulse control disorder might mean the person has trouble keeping wayward behaviors in check, has repetitive compulsions exacerbating stress. A traumatic brain injury or other organic brain damage, as associated often now with sports like football and boxing, may affect parts of the brain like the frontal lobe, causing disinhibition or mood changes. Addictions to substances like alcohol can also strongly exacerbate these behaviors, and some research has conjectured that testosterone can also sometimes worsen violent, antisocial, and aggressive behaviors and adversely affect empathy. Key word here is worsen. These disorders are not excuses or causes of violence. They are incidences that might induce more violence. Environment and learned behavior also contribute to abuse. Oftentimes, abusers have witnessed similar behaviors in their own families, and they inevitably imitate their original role models, male or female. They may harbor severe resentment toward the gender they attack because of unresolved issues with their own parent, who may have been physically or emotionally cruel or unloving. It isn't uncommon to end up with identifying with the aggressor, an ego defense mechanism where you internalize the role of the powerful figure in the family because you see abuse and dominance as power. You see this aggression as the way to behave in your later relationships and jobs, and the best way to survive, else you be the one victimized instead, kill or be killed, is the only relationship language you understand. There is a lot to learn about why someone abuses the one they confess to love, and we will continue with this discussion tomorrow. With 1 in 3 women experience domestic violence worldwide, the question is not if you will encounter a victim of violence. The question before God is, what will you do when you do encounter them? You could be the person who saves a life. We are all called to be champions for justice. And those who suffer violence need to know that those who love them and those who don't even know them will step out and reach out to them to give them the help and the courage they need to leave before it's too late. Please help us get these messages out. Please subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit the like button, and please share these messages with others because you never know, just by doing so, you could save a life. This series is dedicated in honor of Gabby Petito, a bright young woman whom the world has lost because of gender violence. Please check out the foundation her family created in her honor at GabbyPetitoFoundation.org. If you are a victim of violence, I want you to stop and I want you to listen to me right now. I want you to know this. You are valued. You are loved. You're intelligent. You are beautiful. And God does not want you to suffer violence. He wants you to live free from violence in peace and tranquility. There is a way out, and it is not your fault. Abuse is not love. If someone says they love you and then they abuse you, they are lying to you. If you're a victim of violence, please reach out to somebody. And if you're in danger, please dial 911 for rescue. Tomorrow, we're going to talk more about why men hit the ones they love. And until then, God bless you.